who wins tonight.
It's not an accident either.
Really?
Yeah, nope, sure not.
Where's your jersey?
Now, don't worry about it. You will see it tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, you will see it
One with
tomorrow.
0 rings
Yeah,
on it?
Jason, it won't be after about 2 weeks.
Really? He's got to wear number 1 then, right?
No, he'll keep staying with 0. I'm going to take the Celtics. I really like the way they match up with the Golden State Warriors. The small ball that the Warriors lineup want to play, Boston can also go with that small lineup and be very, very effective in playing Al Horford at the 5 if need be. Or they can, play Grant Williams, Al Horford, and then go Smart, Tatum, and Brown. So I like any way that the Warriors want to play. The Celtics has they can throw 5 players out there, Skip, that's equally as a skill, but I believe that they're better defensively than anything that the Warriors have faced in the playoffs. So for me, I like them on the road. They do a great job. Boston held teams to about 34%. From the 3, which is pretty good, huh, Skip? Mm-hmm. They've even been better in the postseason, under 32%. Mm. But the deciding factor with the Warriors are 3s. Mm. When they make 17 or more, they're 20-1. They make 11 or fewer, they're 5-13. And so that's the task that the Celtics are going to have to combat. Mm-hmm. How do we keep them? Not so much keep them because they're going to go to the 3-point line, but you got to make it as tough. You got to make it as challenging as you possibly can to give yourself a chance. And I believe they'll do that. Steph, they're 7-0 when Steph makes at least 4 threes. And the thing is that he can be hot for the 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, and then he can go nuclear in the 4th quarter and make 5 or 6 of these things and blow the roof open. And you've played great up until that point, and you lose the ball game. I just think that the physicality. The Warriors have not seen physicality like this in the postseason. And I'm not saying, Skip, once you get to the postseason, there's really nothing easy. But I just believe that Boston has had a tougher path reaching its destination than the Warriors have had in reaching their destination. And so I think with the physicality and the playmaking and the shot making of Tatum, Brown, I like them to win game 1. I know they're going to win one of these 2 games on the road, but I'm going to take them to steal game 1. I think they're well rested, 3 games off. Robert Williams gets an opportunity to get a little healthier. Smart gets a little healthier. Hopefully that stinger and Jayson Tatum's neck has calmed down even more. Yeah, I see this. I see upset.
Do you? Mm-hmm. But you don't sound nearly as confident today as we approach tonight's game as you did yesterday when you were talking big, bad, and bold about how you got this.
We got it. Did you know Jayson Tatum leads the NBA playoffs in plus minus? And pluses are good?
Really?
Did you know that?
Has he played Golden State?
Have they played the Celtics yet? Did you see what they did to Kadun?
Yeah.
Did you see what they did to Giannis? Did you see what they did to the Miami Heat? Okay, then. You better recognize who they are, okay? You're going to make the same mistake that those other teams. They young. They this, they that. The next thing you know.
Kadun did not have Ben Simmons.
He ain't.
No Ben Simmons. And then, Giannis didn't have his closer, Chris Middleton. And then Miami didn't have its best player for 3 games because I don't know where Jimmy Butler went. And they didn't have the 6th man of the year basically for the whole series.
You know what you did? But when you and I bet 2 cases on the first game, and there was no Al Horford or Marcus Smart, I said, Skip, do you want to give me those cases back because I was without my two of my players? You was like, no, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that?
Okay. Well, you didn't bring it up before. And
I did
bring it up in hindsight.
Hold on, time out. I did bring it up the next day. I didn't know Al Horford all of a sudden had COVID. He was out last minute. Marcus Smart was out last minute.
Well, you could have backed out. I don't care.
No, it happened today. We had already made the bet before they became public.
Well,
like you knew something.
Well, you've duped me before. You bamboozled me several times about somebody being in and...
How do I know it? You make it seem like I wove you something. I ain't got no new inside information.
Well, as far as I know, both squads are just about fully healthy. I mean, I know they got knick-knack injuries that they're dealing with, but I think everybody's eligible.
The core guys are going to be the yes.
And it sounds like Iggy might be available. Their list is questionable, and Gary Payton II, I think he might be back tonight. I don't know in a small role, but it sounds like Otto Porter Jr., who played a pretty major role, it sounds like he's okay now with his foot injury, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're pretty much full strength against full strength.
And guess what? Jayson Tatum foot's fully healthy because he about to put it in somebody.
Really? stick it right up.
Yeah, Wiggins, take that with you.
Really?
Yeah, Otto Porter.
Now you're talking. Okay,
Iggy.
now I wanted the Warriors to hear this.
Yeah, Moody, Kuminga, all y'all gonna get it. Foots.
Really?
Yep. Okay. JB got some of it too.
All right, I'm going to be honest about this. Even though Golden State is a 4-point favorite at home, where they have not lost a single playoff game so far this playoff run, not a single game have they lost at home, I don't hate your pick, because I do agree with your sentiment, with your premise, that if they're going to take one at Golden State, this would be the one to take. It's because Boston was under stress and strain the whole way, and I think they have stress and strain momentum that, even though there's been the 3 days in between, that they'll take into tonight.
We definitely know they're battle tested.
Okay, they're battle tested. They're physicality tested, and I think they're going to bring the physicality tonight and try to play what I call football basketball, old school, sort of 90s basketball, and rough up. In the end, Golden State is a finesse team, except for the one guy who didn't fit in the death lineup, and that's Kevon Looney. I don't think he's a finesse player.
No.
I think he's just sheer physicality, more than you give him credit for. And he's a big X factor starting tonight. But here's my problem with Boston. If you look hard at the 2 games that they played, and obviously because they're in opposite conference, they only play 2 games. But the first one was a COVID game where both squads were, you could almost go to decimated by COVID. So it wasn't fair. It was a very unlevel playing field or playing court. And I throw the first game out. And then the second game, fairly early on, Marcus Smart dives for a loose ball. It looked to me like he was diving at Steph's planted foot.
Yeah, the loose ball, that's basketball. That's what you told me.
We're going to get into that a little bit later, but that's going to be an overarching theme here. How much will that motivate Steph starting tonight? Because it was, at the very least, and I think you concurred, a dangerous play.
Yeah, very.
Okay, so it's Marcus Smart. We're going to talk later about some quotes that he gave to Chris Haynes, where he's just saying, hey, I
do what I do.
I'm me, man. This is I dive for, since I came into the league. Every ball that's on the floor, I'm going to dive for it. Well, you got to dive a little bit smart. You can't dive past the unwritten rule of you can't dive into a man's planted leg, right? But the point is, it's who he is and how he plays. Okay, now I'm back to Golden State. You're right. It becomes a 3-point shooting contest, especially in this building.
Yes.
And to me, Golden State is hard to prepare for, a la like the old wishbone days, back to the Oklahoma Sooners, whoever ran the wishbone. It's kind of before your time. I don't think you guys would have to face it even at Savannah State.
We saw it a lot in high school.
Okay, in high school, where you just you try your scout team to do it, and they just can't do it. And so you get on the field against the speed of it, and it just overwhelms you because you weren't ready. You can't calibrate up to the speed that it's going to hit you.
A lot of teams shoot threes, but a lot of teams don't have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson shooting those threes.
So quick. the triggers are so, it's just gone and it's gone. And if they're falling, all of a sudden it's just like blitzkrieg, where you just get shot out of the gym and you don't know exactly what hit you. And by the way, the second game I forgot to deal with was the Steph game when he's gone. So it disqualified the rest of the game because he wasn't there. Okay, so I'm not sure Boston will be ready quite for the speed of the game. You could argue Golden State won't be ready for the physicality, the football side of the game.
Yes.
But in the end, it will depend on how many threes fall. And for me, I've told you what I think of Steph. I don't trust him deep into a finals. I don't trust him in a game 6 or 7 like I trust him in a game 1 or 2. I like Steph a lot. In fact, I love Steph at home, especially at home, in a game 1 or 2. I think tonight will be a Steph special. I think tonight he will light you up. And I think even Marcus Smart will have no fix, no solution, no hope against him tonight, because I think Steph will come out with some blood in his eyes for what happened that it cost him the last 12 games of the regular season. So I think he will be motivated by what I thought was at least a borderline cheap shot and definitely a dangerous play.
I think the thing that Smart has working in his favor is Steph. He doesn't have to worry about Steph trying to post him up. He's just going to have to run around the court. He's going to have to get his joggers
Steph
on.
is weird like that. He doesn't physically post you up or back you down, but he will take you to the rack.
Yeah, well, he'll go back door you if you get to overplaying him, Skip, because you're always trying to fight over the screens. And, you know, Draymond does a great job of dribble handoff, and as soon as you overplay him, he bends the corner and he goes down and dunks the ball. So they run so many actions to try to get Steph and Clay or Poole and the other guy. They are there doing the two-step. One, they grabbing each other's arms and spinning each other the other way, and the next thing you know, somebody's letting a three go.
I agree.
But when you got a Jayson Tatum and you saw the job that he did on Kadun, and you got JB, who's long and athletic, and then you got Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year, and you got Big Al as the anchor, and you got Robert Williams as an anchor, and you got Grant Williams that's a chameleon that can guard, that can change and morph into anything. You want me to guard the point, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5? I can do it all. You got Derek White coming in there. You know, he's got that San Antonio pedigree. So he knows. He hadn't been in the moment, but he knows.
Hey, he was a sweet pickup for them because Ime knew him from San Antonio. I loved him. I don't know if you remember, it was in our second year of this show. I was raving. I thought he had star quality about him.
Oh, yeah, I remember you was up there heaving the holler about him when he did what he did to the Nuggets.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And guess who didn't love him? My coach didn't love him. And I don't know why. He didn't love his sort of mental toughness shooting the ball because he will tend to go in slumps.
He comes and goes,
And when he slumps, he gets down on himself.
Right.
And Pop got completely down on him and doghoused him and wrecked his confidence offensively, not defensively.
Right.
And so when Ime said, I want you, the calling card that he brought to Boston was he can defend at a high level, and he's a pretty big kid for a two-guard.
Right.
And here we go. So he can defend, and now against Miami, he was making shots out of his backside, right?
And so, Skip, I think the thing is it's a better matchup for him because Jimmy Butler is just too big, too physical. But I think he can do a better job chasing, say, Clay around or, say, Steph around, who knows, even Poole. I think those are better matchups for him because Jimmy Butler just had too much size. Jimmy Butler's looking to post. He's not looking to drive the ball. So I like the Tatum-Brown. Skip, I just think Tatum and Brown, the Warriors haven't faced a combo like this during their playoff run. They got Yoke with nothing really to go along with Yoke. He was just an entree, but no sides. The exact same thing with Luka. And the exact same thing with, like you said, Ja was playing great, but then Ja gets hurt. And then you got guys that you're asking guys to do things that if Ja been there, you wouldn't have asked Jaren Jackson to take the last 3 shots. You wouldn't have asked him to. You wouldn't even put him in that situation. Now,
I thought on just sheer athleticism, Memphis posed a threat.
Yeah, they did. Right? Yeah, they're a big team, but Celtics big too. Yeah,
I'm going to give you this. Boston weirdly plays much better away from home than at home. I joked with you that Boston should play its home games in Miami because I think they like the shooting background better in Miami. I think that crowd is so crazed in Boston, so desperate for another championship, you know, a la, you know, back to the Doc days and then the Bird days.
Yeah.
And they're just like standing and screaming the roof off that place. Right. And the young players on Boston did not respond well to that because it created more pressure on them than it did on the visiting team in Boston.
Right.
So to me, they'll play a little looser tonight, but they better win one of these games.
They're going to win one of them.
You don't want to go home down 0-2.
We could do it's been done before.
Where they lost 4 games at home, 2 to Milwaukee and 2 to Miami. Really? They lost 4 times at home.
Well, don't you worry about that. You give me the 4 points tonight?
No, heck no. You already made the bet.
No, what you just you scared? You scared? Say you scared.
No, I'm not. You proposed the bet to start with. It was your idea. You said, I got him in game 1. I said, done. Accepted.
So you scared?
Well, no, you didn't even look what the points were because you think that Boston should be favored. A lot of people. You say some people think it's going to be a Golden State cakewalk. I disagree. I think there's a media swell right now that Boston's got a real shot, and especially in game 1.
I didn't think Boston should be favored on the road against Golden State.
No?
That they might be favored by a point.
Well, it was a gutsy bet on your part.
We're going to give me the 4 points.
I accept it.
Okay, we accept the 4 points too.
No, heck no.
You scared, huh? You got no
I'm
courage.
not scared. I'm smart.
He ain't got no courage of his conviction, y'all.
Why would you say that? I already got it. Why? I don't need any courage.
I mean,
I got you.
If it was me, I would say, Skip, I give you the point. That's what I do. I gave you the points. I gave you 6 points.
What did I just tell you? I don't hate your pick tonight.
No.
I'm a little concerned about
What I'm concerned about is that you be beating up Steph Curry. Now you count to, Steph going to do this. Steph
I
can do it.
think these first 2 games, they belong to Steph Curry. So that's why I did this.
Okay.
That's why they're going to win the series. They're going to actually win the series in the first 2 games. Even though I got it going 7, the reason it's going to go 7 are games 1 and 2.
Okay.
So I'll let you get it back in game 2.
I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back in the series because we're gonna win the series.
Okay, here we go. We got 2 cases tonight.
Yes.
Right? Thank
yes.
you. Got it.
Watch JT.
Okay.
2 cases.
Number
I got it
0.
written down, gentlemen.
That's what Westbrook
Let's not
wears.
forget, the
remember?
Warriors are coming off 6 days of rest. The Celtics only 3. We'll see if that
That's plenty.
factors in at all.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.